Welcome to Dorking Out. My name is Sonia Mansfield, and I'm a virgin who can't drive. Joining me is my podcasting sister from another mister and the co-host of Dorking Out, Margo D. Hello, my friend.
Rolling with the homies.
Rolling with the homies.
Hello.
We are dorking out about 1995's Clueless, which, I mean, spoilers, it's probably like a perfect movie, right?
There's not a wasted scene in this movie.
There really isn't.
It all matters. It all counts.
It's 97 minutes. It's like a tight 97 minutes. Like everything matters. All the jokes work. Thanks for joining in. See you next time. No. It is loosely based on Jane Austen's Emma, and it's written and directed by Amy Heckerling, who also did she did Fast Times at Ridgemont High, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay. I had that down correct. And it's got this amazing cast: Alicia Silverstone, Paul Rudd, Brittany Murphy, R.I.P. That's a bummer. Stacey Dash, R.I.P. because she's dead to me, and Dan Hedaya, national treasure. Dan Hedaya.
He is Wallace Shawn, also national treasure, I would say.
True.
Elisa Donovan, she's great. Jeremy Sisto, so hot as Elton.
Breckenmeyer, Donald Faison.
Twink Kaplan as Miss Geist.
That's the best name.
And Julie Brown is the gym teacher.
I know, Julie Brown, not downtown Julie Brown. The
not
other
Wubba
Julie.
Wubba Wubba.
Yeah, the other Julie Brown. The
better one.
Yeah, the what was it? Prom Queen's Got a Gun. That Julie Brown.
Earth Girls Are Easy.
Yes. But everybody's so wonderful. Did you see Clueless in the theater?
No, I did not see Clueless in the theater. I thought it sounded just dumb. It's the year I moved to New York. And that summer I was just, being a New Yorker and stuff. And I thought, oh, that sounds cute, but I'll just see it when it's on video. And people would talk about it. But once it got to video, everybody talked about it. Mm-hmm. And it's, I've seen this like 100 times. And it's always makes me laugh. It always makes me smile. It always puts me in a good mood. It's just like you said, it's such a perfect movie.
It really is. It is one of my favorite movie-going experiences was seeing Clueless in the theater because I worked at movie theaters at the time, and I had seen the previews for Clueless, but this is an example of where the marketing didn't give everything away, because the marketing was like, Cher is kind of a dummy. She's and she's hot for Christian, and how can she get Christian to like her? That was kind of the marketing for the movie. The Paul Rudd factor was not a thing in the marketing for this movie, and so I had no idea that, one, it was based on Emma, and two, that Paul Rudd was the real love interest. So in that way, the movie surprised me, and I feel like I'm so rarely... Not like I'm like, oh, I'm such a fucking genius that I'm like rarely surprised. But like when you see a movie like this, you kind of suspect where it's going to go. And it wasn't until like halfway through the movie where I was like, oh shit, this is a totally different movie than I thought it was going to be. It's really smart and it's really sweet. And the love story, it went in a direction I wasn't expecting.
The trailer makes her look like they're like, oh, it's the hot chick from the Aerosmith videos, and she's playing a bimbo that likes shopping. And it turns out she's very sweet, and she's very clever, and she's all about helping other people and doing good deeds. Mm-hmm. And the way that Alicia Silverstone plays her, she just has this spring in her step.
Yes.
Everywhere she goes, she just kind of bounces, and it's like, okay, here we go. It's adorable.
It's adorable. Everybody drink. I do have a beer right here, so let me take
a sip. I got my wine. She's adorable. She's the whole movie, and normally it's all this narration. Normally I hate narration. It totally works in this film. And she's such a good person, and she's a real person, mm-hmm. and how much do you like her closet?
I love her closet. It's like my dream closet, and I would love to dress like her. I would like to dress like her now. I definitely wanted to dress like her then. And I don't know why I didn't. because who the fuck cares? I should wear what I want, but like,
Right.
but I didn't. And she's so cute, and I love what you said about she is a good person.
Mm-hmm.
Like she is, even in her own definition, she'll say she's kind of clueless, but like she is a good person. She wants to do good things, and I love that there's a movie makeover, which I do love a movie makeover, but I also
Yep.
love that the idea that she makes over herself on the inside, and kind of like Legally Blonde, she keeps her style and her personality stay the same. She just becomes like a better version of herself, and she finds that confidence.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's why I respond to this movie so much. Is I like that about her. It's the same reason I like Legally Blonde so much.
Her friendship is really great with Dion,
Mm-hmm.
and the relationship with Dion and her boyfriend. It's Donald Faison with the braces. Oh my
Every
God.
time he showed up, I laughed. Where
Yeah, he's
you
so
know,
cute.
he,
He's so
every
funny.
he just keeps calling her woman, and she's like, "I told you, I hate it when you call me woman." It's like I know that sometimes these have misogynistic undertones, but sometimes it's affectionate or whatever. Like the way he talks, it's just so funny. And like Breckin Meyer is so cute as the stoner guy. He's very likable.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody's very likable, except for Elton because he's a dick.
Elton's being a dick, and Amber. Amber's a little of a
She,
backstabber, but
what is she? Fashionably challenged. What is Cher calls her?
she's so. But honestly, she's so cute. I love it when
She
she does
is.
the thing. She makes the hand. She makes the W.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Whatever. I love the way they talk in this movie.
It's so smart. It's so funny. And my mother talked like this for months after she saw this movie. She loved it so much.
Everybody did. Everybody did. I love the. Here we go. I love. So you were talking about the voiceover narration. Once again, normally I would also kind of shit on it, but I really like it in here because this is one of those comedies that has jokes. And what a treat!
Yeah, exactly.
And
Actual jokes.
yeah, and her narration really. There's just these jokes that maybe even at the time I didn't get, but now I get. Where she's Cher and Dion. We're friends because we both know what it's like to have people be jealous of us, and we're named after great singers of the past who do infomercials. Like that's funny. Like that's a funny line. I just I really really enjoyed this rewatch, and Paul Rudd was like a huge discovery for me when I saw this the first time. And dude
Oh,
looks exactly the same.
he looks exactly this. It's 25 years. He hasn't aged a day.
What
He's
the
just
fuck?
as charming. I love this scene. For me, I love. I love
love.
I love she's a bad driver. I think that the driving scenes with her are fucking hilarious. When they go on the freeway and they start panicking, I remember the first time I wound up on the freeway by accident. It was in New Jersey, but I had the same thing. Like with a friend of mine, we both start screaming at the top of our lungs.
It's so
It's so scary.
in the movie it's hilarious. The old people are like flipping them off, and then like
The
like
bike gang.
yeah, like a bike gang shows up. It's like it couldn't be any scarier basically. My husband watched this with me, and he lived down south for a long time and grew up in Pasadena, so he's like there's some jokes in there he's like that are just so LA, like how you talk about the valley, or the idea that it takes you 20 minutes to get everywhere in LA. Like the dad says, it doesn't matter where you are in LA, everything takes 20 minutes. David's like, it's 100% true. I love the relation. Here we go. I super love the relationship between Cher and her father.
First of all, I was cracking up when they show. You find out that her mother died when she was young, but they make that just sort of like, okay, that's a thing that happened, but don't dwell on it. I love it when they show her. I love it when they show her mom's picture, and she just goes, "Isn't she a Betty?" And I'm like, I haven't heard that in 25 years. That's a hot chick, by the way. If you don't know, I don't know if it's a California thing or not.
I don't know if that one ever caught on.
Oh, it did with my brother and his friends.
Oh, really? They would say
Oh
that?
God. Oh yeah. Oh, Betty. Yeah.
Is it like a Betty Veronica thing?
Yeah.
Is that the idea? Okay.
It's a cute chick.
Got it.
And
Yeah, go
yeah.
ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say, and that's how we get to meet Cher. And here's somebody who's like super spoiled, has everything that she wants, but like we said, she has a really good heart and she wants to do good things. I love the fact her dad's a lawyer, and so she negotiates her grades, and she just like, wish I had done that when I
I
was in high
know.
school. I wish I had her confidence.
These grades are just a jumping off point to negotiations. And then his, line about, I couldn't be more proud of you if they were based on real grades. Like, he sells every line. And of course, we talked about him before when we did our episode on Dick.
Yes.
He's just so wonderful. Like, every time he shows up, he makes me laugh out loud. I think he's really great. I really, really like him in this movie. And I like their relationship. They're very sweet to each other. And
Yeah,
they love each other.
there's a lot of love there. So I'm surprised she isn't trying to find him a wife, but she's trying to get everybody else romantically involved. I guess the dad's into his career.
Right.
And he's a very successful lawyer. Paul Rudd, her dad, oh, that's right. Her dad was married for like a minute, and that's her stepbrother-in-law, whatever you want to say.
They were hardly even married to his mother, and that was 5 years ago.
Right, which I get that. But then there's Wallace Shawn is her speech. I love the speech scenes. They're always so great. The Haitians.
We just need to get in the kitchen and move some things around. It does not say to RSVP on the Statue of Liberty. There's so many good lines.
There are, but she tries to set him up because she realizes maybe he's lonely. And then there's like one teacher, and that's Twink, Miss Giles. And so they give her a makeover, and they work it out. So they have coffee together. And she looks so beautiful at the end when they get married. Spoiler, we spoil here.
Yes.
But Dion's a good friend. And Ty shows up, and she's a girl. She's from New York. Brittany Murphy. I mean, when did she die?
Gosh, that was like what, 2008 or 9?
Yeah.
I think she is so fucking cute in this movie.
Yeah.
She is the fucking cutest. I wrote in here how fucking cute is she. The makeover's really good. I actually like the makeover. I don't think they change her personality. They just she wants to wear clothes and fit in, and they help her. And of course her style's totally cute. It's like with the little flannel skirt and the Mary Janes, and she's so sweet, and I just love her personality so much. And how open she is to everybody until she kind of turns a little bit into like a popular monster. But I actually really like that scene too, of course, that I talked about at the beginning with the "you're a virgin who can't drive." And like Alicia Silverstone's reaction to that is so hurt. Like she like wells up, and you could tell like Brittany Murphy's character too is like kind of regretting that she said that. Like it's like a really fucked up thing to say to your friend, even though I think it's silly. But it is like kind of a fucked up thing. And and then they kind of make up later in the movie. Spoilers for a 25-year-old movie, everybody.
But she's like Emma in the book, the original material. She tries to fix other people's love lives, their problems, and she keeps them happy. They won't bother her so much, and that's kind of what the movie's doing. But in this movie, that she does find out that there's somebody that's in her circle that she is attracted to, and is his name Josh? Yes, Paul Rudd's name is Josh.
Yeah, Paul Rudd is Josh, and then there's Christian.
Okay, Christian, I love him. I don't know why he's not doing. I haven't seen him in anything else. Justin Walker. He's really good.
Yeah, he is. I really, really enjoy his character. I love when Paul Rudd's character is like, "You didn't want to make a night of it with the ring-a-ding kid." It made me laugh so. The ring-a-ding kid. Yeah, why? I'm looking at his filmography. He hasn't done jack shit. What's up with that?
I don't know. Maybe he just left the business.
I guess so. Like he did like an episode of Northern Exposure, then Clueless, and then after that it's just all kinds of a whole lot of nothing, like a TV show here and there, and I guess a movie called I Shaved My Crotch for This.
Oh my God. Jesus.
I'm like,
Okay, add it to the list.
I'm like, all right, let's put it on the list. Maybe it's good. I hope it's in 3D.
Oh my god.
What the fuck, Justin Walker? He's so good in this. What
He's
happened?
so good. So he's the guy that she thinks she has a crush on, or she has a crush on, but he turns out to be gay.
Yeah.
And then I like that reveal where they turn out to be friends. They're going to be, shopping buddies and whatever. Donald Faison's really great there. He's a friend of Dorothy. He's
Oh
a
my
Barbara Streisand. I mean, just
He's a cake boy, which I had never
he's a
heard.
cake boy.
I don't even know
No,
what that means. I don't know. Maybe I should Google it, or maybe I shouldn't. I shouldn't.
no,
Google it.
maybe like some things just leave a mystery.
Yeah.
Jeremy Sesto as Elton is great in this movie. He's a total shit.
Oh my god, he's such a creep. He's such a creep, but he needs to be. He needs
Yeah,
to
that's
be.
the whole point.
And he is like that friend you had in high school or maybe in college that doesn't read the signs.
Right.
Like he thinks she's into him and she's like, no. And he does get like he's a little handsy.
He's very handsy, and
Yeah.
he was like ready to dump her, and then leaves her there at this garage. Then she gets robbed by gunpoint.
It's so sad.
It
She's
is
like,
so sad.
Like, this dress is really expensive. And he's like, I will totally shoot you in the face. And she's like, I also I enjoyed like Paul Rudd picking her up and he's bringing his girlfriend, I guess, and the whole scene about quoting Hamlet, and she's like, I remember Mel Gibson's movie and he didn't say that.
It was Polonius guy.
Yeah, it was that Polonius guy or whatever.
Yeah. She's smart. She's not
She
stupid.
is smart. She is smart. She just focuses her energy on things that, clothes or popularity or whatever, and then decides she needs to do more. She really likes doing good things. Like, she sets these teachers up. She feels that she really loves that. So then she takes on Ty as her like latest project and decides to set her up with Elton, which doesn't go well because turns out he's hot for Cher, and who wouldn't be, because Cher's really, really beautiful.
Okay, first of all, also her hair is so luscious and beautiful.
I know.
Oh, like that's not a wig, you guys. That's her hair.
It's beautiful and perfect.
Oh,
it is. Yeah. She's beautiful.
She's beautiful.
Before this movie, I was like, it's a chick from the Aerosmith videos. Like, I didn't think she was capable of this kind of movie. Like,
right.
It looks simple what she's doing, but she's doing something really hard because Emma, like in, if you watch like the Gwyneth Paltrow movie or you've read the book or any of those things, like Emma could be a very unlikable person. She's a busybody. And that's annoying. But Cher's very, very sweet. And Alicia Silverstone really brings that, like, good heart with her into this movie. And I don't feel like it always translated into other movies. Like, she didn't make a lot of other movies that I love. Not like this.
No, she had Batman and Robin. And then she did a movie, Excess Baggage, with her and Benicio del Toro. And my friend will tell you, Erin, that's a movie we look forward to seeing because we both had a crush on Benicio at the time. Like, we wanted to see everything he was in. And I left that movie halfway through to go see something else, like Under Siege 2 or something, for like a half an hour because it was so bad.
What a mismatch. What the fuck?
She just wanted to fuck him, let's be clear.
Come on, we all did.
She had a movie deal. But it just, she didn't make, there's nothing, I can't think of any other role. She was in Suburgatory, which I didn't see, but a friend of mine really liked that show. And Jeremy Sesto was in that one too. And they said she was really good in it. And I think she's a good actress. I don't think she's found her thing. I'm surprised she doesn't have I'm sorry to interrupt you. I'm surprised she doesn't have like a Netflix show or an Amazon show.
Yeah, she did Blast from the Past with Brendan Fraser. And I remember.
That's a cute movie.
And I was like, that one's cute. That's cute. But everything else, I was like, every time I was like hoping like this will be the one that like fills that void, and it doesn't. And
no,
I remember, I don't remember when the show came out, but there was but I could look it up, but I won't. There was a TV show called Mismatch. I think it was on
Oh,
and
right.
it was on NBC, and she was like a matchmaker, and she meets someone that she kind of likes for herself, but she doesn't want to like destroy like what she's doing, so she keeps like setting him up with people, and it shit never works out because he's actually right for her. It lasted like 8 episodes or something. It was really cute, and she was so cute in it, and I really liked it. I was super bummed when it got canceled. I like her.
Yeah. I like her too. And it just shows you how it's also I just like this kind of a movie. And it's been a long time since a movie like I always watch with the captions and it's like they're really saying funny things. It's
Mm-hmm.
clever. It's a clever, tight script. And that's all I want, jokes and a good
Yeah.
script and good actors. And that's what they have. The wardrobe is great.
Mm-hmm.
The music choices are fun. It just like it's a perfect pace. It's not too long. The death of comedy is when they go to 2 hours.
I
It's so
hate it.
frustrating.
I know.
Yeah,
I'm like, this movie is 15 minutes too long.
that's a
That's how
every
I
Judd
feel.
Apatow movie.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. And I like, um, yeah, like you said, there's all these jokes, and I love when she talks about high school, how she won't even date high school boys, and she's like, oh, they're like dogs. You have to clean them and feed them, and they slobber
she's
all
not
over you.
wrong. Yes.
And I'm like, it's true. And especially in the early 90s, um, there was this like, everybody was really into grunge. So it was like flannel, like the hair that was like really greasy, like Ethan Hawke in Reality Bites, and like the
Yeah.
baseball caps and all. She's not wrong. Like
No.
that was that was kind of the male style at the time, and these kinds of like teen comedies were not in style. They were I feel like maybe Heathers kind of destroyed teen comedies in a good way, like in a good way.
Yeah, it put it on its ear. I mean, it just did something else with it. It made it dark and cynical.
Yeah.
And but yeah, it's because it's like it's just nice that she's a virgin and that's because she wants to be, and she's just like it. It's a it's very sweet and good natured and nobody's being exploited. It's so funny because teen comedies like we were talking about in the early 80s, we reviewed a few like Valley Girls, still a great movie, but it was like you knew they had to show boobs like every other scene
Mhm.
or it wasn't going to go through. It's not necessary.
Right.
Like and I like all the kids are really well cast and they get along great together and I don't know. There's like I don't have a bad note to say about this movie.
Mm-mm.
Literally nothing.
She doesn't like the term virgin. I believe she prefers hymenally challenged.
That's Tion.
Yeah, because she's saving herself for Luke Perry. Come on.
And Stacey Dash is really good in this movie.
She is.
She's really good.
She is really good. I really really like her in this movie. I wish she didn't go off the rails in the real world, but she is really great in this. And I know there was a TV show spin-off of this, and I think a lot of the people from the movie were in the TV
Hmm.
show, and I think she was one of the people. I didn't watch the show though. Did you watch the show?
No, but my roommate at the time, she worked for a TV magazine and she interviewed her. And it was like a group of people. You've done that, right? You've interviewed people for,
Yeah.
yeah. And so it was like they had a press day in New York. And everybody just kept saying to each other, "How old is this girl?" Because like she was at least 30 when she was playing like a 16-year-old.
Yeah,
She looked great.
yeah, I think she was the oldest one, I think, because
Yeah.
I read that she was actually 2 years older than Paul Rudd. And
Wow.
Paul Rudd was playing someone who's like 19, but I don't think he was 19.
No, I think he just was out of college.
Yeah. I
He went to
just
Kansas University.
just
How
fell
much
in
do you love that?
I fell in love with Paul Rudd when I saw this movie. Like everyone, I guess.
Every time.
Yeah. He's the
He,
cutest thing ever.
he's adorable. Everybody drink.
Yeah. I want to hit that. What's funny is even straight men who aren't they're like, yeah, Paul Rudd is hot. Like
Yeah.
everyone can agree on Paul Rudd.
Yeah.
He's
I
wonderful.
bet I bet I bet pets follow him everywhere. Cats and dogs. I've heard like they follow him.
He just smells like freshly baked cookies.
He does. He's like adorably ruffled in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I bet he's
Ah,
perfect all the time.
yeah. Yeah, he
Damn
doesn't have
you,
one flaw.
Paul Rudd!
Ah,
I
my
love him so much.
expectations now
I know.
ruined.
Oh, I'm like, should we talk more about how wonderful Brittany Murphy is?
It's so sad. She was in um what's the movie I'm thinking of, the cartoon I'm thinking of. She played
Oh, she was in King of the Hill.
King of the Hill, Luann? Is
Yeah.
that who she
Yes.
Uncle Hank. I oh my God. That show cracked me up. She was so good on that. She was in there's a movie that she did, The Devil's Arithmetic. You've ever seen that?
No.
It's about it's based on a young adult story about a girl, and it's from Dick. Kirsten
Kirsten Dunst?
yes, thank you. She plays a girl, a Jewish girl that goes back in time to her family in Germany when the Nazis took over. And Brittany Murphy is like her cousin. And they get captured by the Nazis and they go to a concentration camp. And it's not a madcap comedy. It's
No, it
pretty
sounds
intense.
hilarious.
I know. But she's so good. Like she plays this German girl that's like teaching her friend how to, her cousin how to adapt. And she's so good at it. Just like she had these big eyes that
Hmm.
were very expressive. And it just like everything she was in, I always just thought she was so adorable. And I rooted for her. I mean, when she died, I was shocked.
I was
I
so
was
bummed.
I was so bummed. And then her husband died a year later, like almost from the same thing.
It was drugs, right?
No, I don't think so. I think it was a. I'm gonna look this shit up. But anyway,
Yeah, but she's so good in this, and I think the casting is so key in this movie because I feel like
yeah.
I know that there's like a huge list of like people that they, at one point like they were entertaining Gwyneth Paltrow or Reese Witherspoon or what's another one they were saying? Zoe Deschanel for Amber or Owen Wilson for Travis. Like I feel like this movie's like absolutely perfectly cast. And that you change like one person and you ruin everything. But it really rests on Alicia Silverstone. She's in like every scene of this movie.
She carries the whole film.
Yeah.
Yeah. Brittany Murphy, they said she died of pneumonia and anemia, and her husband the same thing, but her father thinks that she was murdered. They're going to try to get the body
Oh,
exhumed. Oh, 32. Jesus Christ, 2009.
that
Girl
is.
Interrupted. That's another one that she's
Oh,
in.
yeah, yeah.
She's so good in that.
She's so good.
Oh, she's good
It's,
in everything.
I
Oh,
know.
it's so
What a
sad.
waste.
Such a waste.
It makes me sad.
Mm.
What do you think about Cher and Josh's relationship?
I knew you were going to ask me that.
Mm-hmm.
And on the one hand, sure, you want them to be together forever.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, I'm like, you're 16. You should have both boyfriends, lots of boyfriends. You should
Mm-hmm.
be out there meeting other people. So I don't know. I don't know if she like goes to another college and does something else with her life and meets someone else.
Yeah.
I think it's a great first relationship.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
I mean, please. Yeah. I mean, look, I'd keep him forever too, believe
Yeah.
me.
I know. It's
But
hard to believe anyone would break up with Paul Rudd.
that's exactly like, like what's better? Who else are you going to get? I mean,
If you Google things about Clueless, you will definitely see articles where people talk about they think this relationship is incestuous. I disagree. First of all, they're not really related.
no.
So technically it is not incestuous. But there's also the idea that it seems like maybe her dad has been married a few times
I think you're right.
is the impression we get. And they also say, you know, you were hardly married to her, and that was 5 years ago. And, there is this thing about where Josh says, like, he thinks of her dad as kind of his dad. He does say that. And, like, and then her dad says, like, you divorce, like, adults, not children or whatever.
He's such a nice guy, her father. I mean, he
Yeah.
comes across as one of my favorite sayings is when she tells her dad, I like a boy, but he doesn't like me. And he goes, how is that possible?
Yeah.
It's so
He's
cute.
like, I don't want you going out with someone who's that stupid.
Yeah. And that's what you want to hear from your dad.
Totally, you want to hear that from your dad. I also think he's very smart. I think the dad knows what's going on before they do.
Yeah.
They show like little like side eye, little glance here and there. He knows. He knows that like Josh likes Cher, and he can see that Cher likes Josh, and that this is Josh's influence as she's like, you know, giving away all of her skis and stuff like that. Like
Hmm.
he sees it. He knows. And he doesn't have a problem with it. So why should we?
No. God damn it.
I don't think it's that big of a deal. It's honestly it's a bigger deal if you think about that she's 16 and he's probably 19.
Yeah. What age is he?
Yeah, I mean he's
Uh,
a freshman in college, right?
okay. That's not too bad.
So it's not
I
too
knew friends.
bad, but
I had friends that dated guys in college
for sure.
when they were like junior and senior in high school. Yeah. Because junior and high school guys, senior high school guys are gross for
They
the most
are.
part. They're really gross.
Yeah, she's like she says in the movie, she's like I don't want to be a traitor to my generation, but
But
these
all
guys
those
are
baggy pants.
oh my god.
Oh, they're so gross.
It
Excuse
they
me.
do look really grungy and smelly.
Speaking of that, I just burped. I hope it didn't show up on mic. I'm
didn't.
sorry, you guys.
It
I'm
didn't.
drinking bubbly wine.
You're totally fine. Yeah, I wouldn't want to. I thought all those guys were icky too.
Yeah,
I wouldn't
they were
want any
cute when
piece
I
of
was
that.
like 12 or 13.
Yeah,
It's funny how that happens. And then when I was like their age, I'm like, ew.
yeah,
Like,
you. Yeah.
ew.
You see how picky I am about my shoes, and they only go on my
Go
feet.
on my feet. That's a great line.
Do you have a favorite line in the movie?
I think that's my favorite line. I think it's when her dad says that. How is that possible? I don't. It's a stupid. It's just so sweet and funny. It just like such. It's also well written. It's also well. Where did you? It's a famous quote. Where'd you get it? Cliff's Notes.
I feel just wretched. Like the way she talks just makes me laugh. I love it so much.
Yeah.
You know, I need a complete makeover, except this time I'll make over my soul. And then the, you know, scene where she's out walking around and it's like all by myself. And she's, you know, can't negotiate her way out of her driver's test. And there's just all these wonderful things that just pay off. You know, getting off the freeway makes you realize how important love is.
It's a very rewarding movie. You know what I mean? It just gets your attention.
It really
and it
does.
deserves it. And it's so smart and so clever and funny. And it's just such a nice, it's always an enjoyable trip.
Mm-hmm. I also love the, you know, Christian gets that she's trying to seduce him, and he's like, it's time for me to go. And he leaves, and she's like, I don't get it. Did my hair go flat? Like, that would be enough for a dude to be like, nah, sex
Especially
is
her.
off the table. And that she can't seem to see that he's gay, even though he's like
Flaming.
totally flaming gay. It's super into Tony Curtis movies and
Yeah, there's a lot. The Spartacus, yeah.
can't you see how he ignores every other girl because he's so in love with me? Did you go to any parties where the Mighty Mighty Bosstones were playing?
No, but that's like a very 90s touch.
It really
It's like
is.
them or Smash Mouth shows up in a movie. You're like, okay, I know exactly when this takes place
I love
and
that-
where I was.
Yeah. You gotta love any band that has a member of the band whose job it is to dance. Like he
That was
doesn't.
that one guy. That's all
Yeah.
he did.
He doesn't sing. He doesn't play an instrument. He's just dancer.
When I was teaching spin, I play "Knock on Wood." If I ever knock, always works. People really like that song. It gets them in a good mood.
It's catchy as fuck.
It really is.
I totally get it. The soundtrack is really great too. This movie.
Yeah.
I love the. Here we go. I love the remake of Kids in America at the beginning.
Mhm.
Is really good. Jill Sobel's Supermodel for the Makeover. That's a catchy song.
Mhm.
I pretty much hear it in my head every time I see a makeover now. Is there anything else? Well, let's see. I'm going through my notes. Is their relationship incestuous? No. Do we think
No.
they're still together? Maybe.
Yes.
How? Because you can't break up with Paul Rudd. Do you have a favorite character?
I do love Cher. I guess is that Faison?
Yeah.
Donald Faison Murray. He cracks me up.
He shaves his
Elisa
head.
Donovan makes me. Yeah. Oh God, I love that.
Woman.
Don't call my mom.
Yeah. I love Cher too. But I actually think her dad is my favorite character.
Yeah. We're older now too, so we kind of notice him more.
That's true. That might be it, because he certainly wouldn't have caught my attention back in '95.
I always knew him from Cheers.
Yes. He was
Carla's ex-husband.
Nick Tortelli.
Tortelli.
Yeah, that shit used to
his
make me
wife,
laugh
Loretta.
so hard. The idea that, because he's not like he's some handsome man, but the idea he held this like crazy like sexual power over Carla that like
they had all those kids.
Yeah, like she couldn't resist him. And he tried to like use it on Diane. Anyway, I'm going down a whole other rabbit hole. It's hilarious. Do you want to hear about some other movies from '95?
Absolutely.
Okay. Waiting to Exhale.
Yep.
That's a good one, I thought.
Yeah.
I'm sure you've done this one for book versus movie. Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I'll have to go back and listen. Something to Talk About.
Julia Roberts.
Yeah.
Oh
I think
God.
there is something to talk about. For something to talk about. We should put it on the list.
First of all, why has there not been a movie with Julia Roberts and Kira Sedgwick as sisters anywhere else? They look exactly alike. Julia's just tall.
I thought the same thing when I saw this movie. I was like, are we sure they're not really related?
Why aren't they in like any other movie where they're sisters? Because they're great together.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That movie is fucking weird.
It's a weird flick.
It's super weird. We should put it on the list.
Mm-hmm.
That would be super fun. Do you remember this version of Scarlet Letter?
Yes.
With Demi Moore.
Oh my God. And it totally veered away from the original material. They did a sexy version of it.
So sexy. It was like
And
her
it's
and
such a
Gary
boring book.
Oldman?
Gary Oldman and Robert Duvall.
I think so. And I feel like it gave it like a happy ending.
They made it sexy.
Yeah.
They tried to sex it up because Demi Moore would show her breasts.
Yeah.
So that's what they tried to get as much from her as they could. It's a dreadful story. I mean, it's one of those books they make you read when you're in high school.
Yeah,
and
read
it's
it
just
in high
like,
school.
Ugh.
Yeah, it's
dreary.
It played at my theater. It's not good.
Nope.
No, sir, I don't like it. Party Girl came out in '95.
I love Party Girl.
Party Girl is great.
That is a fantastic. We should do that. That's a great movie.
I don't think I've seen Party Girl since '95, which seems wrong. So I'm going to write it down right now. Party Girl. Okay, it's on the list. All right, back to our other list. 9 Months.
Oh God, that's a bad movie.
It's not good.
Nope.
Hugh Grant and
Julianne Moore.
Yeah, and he freaks out because she's pregnant. And
can you imagine when you're having sex with somebody and not using protection, and you're doing that for years, and all of a sudden, oops, she's pregnant?
Yeah.
How did that happen?
And then he acts like an asshole for the entire.
That's a total fucking asshole.
Huge asshole for the whole movie.
It's another man baby that has
Total
to like go through
baby.
everything before he can take responsibility, and we're supposed to give him a cookie for that.
Yeah, fuck him.
Oh, fuck him.
Mallrats came out in '95.
I don't like Mallrats. I know everybody else thinks it's hilarious. I don't like all of Kevin Smith's stuff, but I just think it's.
I think there's funny parts.
Yeah.
I'll say that, but I don't.
Okay.
But I don't.
That's fine.
I don't think it's his best.
No.
You know what? I used to love Clerks. I've seen it a lot. I wonder if I would still like it now. There's some pretty fucked up shit in that movie.
There's fucked up shit. And it's black and white, and I think it's like overwritten. That for me is like but it's his first script. It's his baby.
Mm-hmm.
I love the story.
Yeah, I mean, I certainly like the idea of like two guys working that kind of job. Maybe I liked it so much because I was also working that kind of a job at the time,
Mhm.
so it really clicked with me. But there's definitely things in the movie that are problematic, to say the least.
Mhm.
Also 95, Major Pain.
Never seen it.
I didn't see it either, and it played at my theater forever. People loved it with like Damon Wayans playing, he's like doing a thing in it, but I never saw it. I thought maybe you had. You haven't. So,
Mm-mm.
next movie, Hackers.
Johnny Lee and
Yes.
Angelina Jolie.
Yep.
Yeah, I remember that movie. I
Movie
bet that's hilarious
computers.
now. Yeah.
Also, Heat came out in 95.
Oh God, that is one of the most biggest missed opportunities. Is that movie? It is such great people, and it's bloated and dumb
I think
and
bloated is a really great way to describe that movie cuz there's like good shit in it.
but a lot of fat.
Yeah.
There's a lot that could be trimmed out of that movie,
Mhm.
and Pacino is all over the place.
He usually is.
He's like he's doing Scarface
Yeah.
mixed with something else. Like it's next level. There's a scene where he actually says, "Because she's got a great ass,
Oh
and
my
you got
gosh.
your head right up it."
He was right after Scent of a Woman, so I think that's 91.
Yeah, he went through a stage.
Yeah, he kind of was like doing a thing. Like every
Yeah,
movie was, I'm just getting warmed up. Like that
he
sort of.
got an Oscar for that. So
Yeah.
I'm just gonna keep doing it loud.
I'm acting. Yes, like that. And then there were two movies in 95 about talking pigs.
Oh, Babe.
One was Babe and another one called Gordy.
Oh, I never saw Gordy. I saw Babe. That'll do, pig. That's
Yeah.
the last line. That'll do, pig.
I like Babe.
I like Babe too, and it's a good message.
I should show Babe to my kid.
Oh, he'd love it.
Oh my God, that's going on the list. Okay. Done.
All right. So, are you ready for some of the top songs?
Yes.
This is gonna, I just picked a few, but this is gonna bring back memories. Do you remember Deep Blue Something, Breakfast at Tiffany's? That stupid song. Collective Soul,
I
December. Okay.
I don't like that song. It's really
Oh,
bad.
it's stupid.
I think everyone hates it. I'm surprised it's kind of a big hit.
You know, I worked with a girl at the time. We had an open office, and she had a radio on her desk. And for some reason, she was allowed to play it, but nobody else was allowed to play the radio. But every time, it's one of the songs, every time it went on, she would turn up really loud and start singing along to
No.
it. And I'm like, I fucking hate you for so many reasons, but that's number one.
Yeah.
Because
Ugh.
your taste in music is shit.
That's gross. That's like the
Yeah.
that's the equivalent of putting fish in the microwave.
Yeah.
It's not okay.
No. Collective Soul, December.
Yeah.
When you hear it, you're like, oh yeah, that song.
That thing.
Alanis Morissette, Hand in My Pocket. Oh, I love that song.
I love that song, and you couldn't not love that album.
That album was amazing.
It was amazing, and it was everywhere.
Oasis, Wonderwall. I still love that song. I love that album, like every track. And my last one, it's my favorite Mariah Carey song, Fantasy.
Oh my God, that song's awesome.
It's so dope.
I love that song. It is, in fact, dope. I know I am, as Josh says in the movie, I know I'm bugging. I'm totally bugging.
I'm bugging when they play it.
I love that song. What else are you dorking out about, Margo?
So I just started this afternoon, and it's a show. I don't know if you've heard about it. It's on Netflix. It's called Love on the Spectrum.
Yes, it's on my list too.
I just started it. I cried twice during like the first episode. I so love these people, and I'm so empathetic to them and their parents and their friends and their journey that they're going on. I mean, dating is hard enough.
Yes.
And then you have like a social interaction kind of, quandary in your life that you're trying to work out. And I wondered what you thought of it.
Yeah.
Because your son is autistic. And
Yes.
so like, do you think about him and how he's going to be dating someday?
Yes.
And what, yeah.
We plowed through that show because it's like 5 episodes. It's and we were kind of bummed when it was over. We were like, well, what happens? What? Like only 5 episodes. It really, like, we could have used quite a few more to say the least.
Mm-hmm.
But I really, really liked it. It's so interesting. And I know, like you said, dating is hard, but
Mm-hmm.
the thought and effort that everyone in these episodes are putting towards
Yeah.
dating, because they're not dating people who aren't on the spectrum. They're all people, they're dating each other. You know, they're all dating people with different special needs and things like that. But they're
Right.
they're a lot of autistic people, like, they're very passionate about what they're passionate about. For example,
Right.
my son is very passionate about like trains, buses, and ceiling fans. If you want to talk to him about those things, he's your man. You want to talk to him about something else, he would like to talk to you about fans, trains, and buses. Like, you know, and so all of these people are trying to learn to ask people like about what their hobbies are and what they're into, and working to like listen and ask questions
Make eye
and make
contact.
eye contact. And these are all
Right.
things that, to be honest, I know some neurotypical people who could use this kind of training.
Absolutely.
I don't know how many times I went on, because I used to do online dating before I met my husband,
Mm-hmm.
and you spend the whole date like getting coffee, getting a drink, whatever, and the dude just talks about himself the whole time. And you're like,
Or
yeah, go. Or,
or you feel like you're on a job interview and
yes.
somebody's just asking you, but it's more like they're just checking boxes.
Mm-hmm.
I'll figure out how crazy you are, or what's your what's
Yes.
going on with you.
Yes.
Because all New York women are crazy. Ooh, you can't date a New York woman. I'm like, nah, it's actually, I think you're probably the problem. I think that
Yeah.
you're the yeah. But yeah, dating is just hard enough as it is, and then if you have that challenge of like, you really have to redirect yourself and how
Mm-hmm.
you interact with people when you're used to doing it one particular way, and then it's like, okay, but if you want someone to be your partner, and some of them are so eager to have a
Yes.
partner, have somebody. That's what like gets to me. Like they really want this to happen,
Yeah.
and they're good people, and it's like, oh,
You know that they will treat whoever they get in their life so well,
mm-hmm.
because you will become their most important person, and
Right,
they want to be with you, and they'll, you know, they want to share what they're passionate about. So some of it is just them trying to find, it's the same thing we all want. Like, you want to meet
right,
the people that are into the same shit you are, but trying to navigate that. And when you're dealing with love, you're dealing with emotions. It's not something that like people on the spectrum are, it doesn't come super natural to them. They have a hard time
mm-hmm.
reading social cues. It's a very well done documentary series, and I did see some critiques online from people who were actually autistic, on the, like, on both sides. There's like people who are like, well, this is made for neurotypical people, which is what is like the term people use for people who are not on the spectrum, neurotypical.
Mm-hmm.
They're like, this is for them. And I was like, well, that's okay. Like, this is a really good, like, teachable show.
Yeah,
I think when people think autism, they think Rain Man.
right,
And I think it's important to show other types of people, like, representation matters. And
mm-hmm.
I think that that's good. But then there's also people who are actually autistic who super love it. And they love seeing a show where themselves reflected back to them, like we all do.
Right.
It's almost like they're people.
Ah, can you imagine?
What? So this was on my list too, because it's so good.
Mm-hmm.
It's really well done, and it's all in Australia,
Yes.
I think, and I'm hoping they're going to do more seasons, because I think it's really, really interesting. And the person who is directing it and interviewing these people, he clearly has such great affection for them,
Mm-hmm.
and he's very curious about them, and he's asking good questions, and they're all so sweet.
Yeah.
All of them. You want the best for them.
Yeah.
At the end, you're just like, I hope that they all find what they want, because they super deserve it. And they talk to a lot of their parents too. A lot of them still live with their parents, and all of their parents, you can tell, like, they've done a really amazing job.
Yeah.
They've done everything they can, but there's this one thing they can't do for them. Like, I can't go on dates for my son. I mean, I could, but it would be weird. Like, and it would
Right.
work. Like, there's this thing they
No,
have
it's a
to.
thing you have to do when everyone has to do on their own.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I was very touched by it. I definitely got choked up watching it a few times and seeing myself in some of the parents and seeing my son and some of the people that are trying to date. So I'm glad that you're liking it too. I'm glad you're watching it. It's really good.
Yeah, well, I had a couple of people just say like they're crying their eyes out watching it, and
Oh.
it's just, but I think it, yeah, there's the one with the couple they go on a date. It's her. I think I don't know if it's his first date. It's her first date ever, and he brings her flowers,
Mm-hmm.
and then he has her split the check. I'm like, oh dear, he didn't, he
He
didn't understand that.
yeah. He
But
did.
then he liked her, and and his mom meets him,
Mm-hmm.
and she's like, how did it go? And he goes, oh mom, she was so nice, and I got super choked up.
Yeah.
Just they're just good people.
They are. They absolutely are. And you just want the best for all of them, and you see them struggle too. Like sometimes they go to restaurants and they're like, it's really loud in here,
Mm-hmm.
and that's very, some people are very sensitive to noise or lights or things like that, so they're kind of off their game for the whole date, or
Mm-hmm.
they can't do it at all. There's a lot of stuff going on, that, and I think that's true of everybody.
Everyone has their stuff. Like that's like
That's
going
the
back
thing,
to Grey
right?
Gardens and like what is it that's appealing to me? And I was saying to you, like, so many of us live in the margins, and it's nice to see that reflected. And we're quirkier, we're a little different. We just have a little different way of approaching things, and there's
Mm-hmm.
nothing wrong with us. We're just everyone's just different, and it's okay.
Mm-hmm.
But it also comes with its own struggles, and that's what's interesting to watch. And I'm just so sick of the regular dating
Yeah.
shows. They're so they just say the same thing over and over again,
Yeah.
and it's just hear people talk more from the heart rather than trying to make sound bites.
Yeah.
Wow, that really got to me.
Because I think one of the other things you'll see is there's not a liar in the bunch. Like,
Right,
lying is not something that comes once. I don't want to like generalize for like all people on the spectrum, but I know with like my
right.
son, like lying doesn't happen. Like
Hmm.
it's not in his DNA. Like he doesn't. And these people are all very honest, and they know that they're these kind of people that can be really honest, but they don't want to be hurtful, so
Right.
they're also trying to navigate that, like, how do I just say I don't want to see you again, or they don't know, without hurting someone's feelings, which once again we all go through.
Everyone goes through that. Yes.
It's a thing. I and it's not like The Bachelor, right? Like nobody on the show is like, well, I'm not here to make friends, or
I'm not here to make friends, or I think I'm falling in love, or I picture us with babies, or I try to do this, but then this person got in the way, or just people just trying to, like I said, make sound bites
yes.
that they've heard on like 10 other shows where somebody here is just like, I'm worried for my date. She had a lot of anxiety, so I'm just going to leave her alone,
Mm-hmm.
and we'll just try again someplace else. And then, and be very lovely about it
Yes.
and
It's
compassionate.
it's so good. It's on
Yeah.
Netflix. It's like 5 episodes, and I really really liked it. That was on my
Yeah.
list too.
Yep. I had a feeling. It showed up last night, and I was like, I bet you Sonia's watching this. I
Oh
bet
yes.
you.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm also
'Cause-
watching Street Food, which is
Oh,
like,
what's that?
it's another, kind of the same people who do like Chef's Table. I love food documentaries. And this is like food and travel, and it's about, right now this season is all about Latin America. So it's like Mexico, Peru, Brazil, like, and it's different kinds of street food. So it's like a travel show and a food show. And since traveling's not really in the cards because we live in a shithole country,
Yeah.
it's fun to watch those kinds of shows and imagine what traveling will be like again someday.
Well, it's funny you said that because I was watching Guy Fieri,
Ah,
Divers. What is it? Drive-in. Oh, God, it. Dives,
diner,
drive-in.
yeah, diner, drive-ins, and dives.
Thank you, DD&D. He went to Spain, and he just went to all these smaller places in Spain. And I mean, I was so hungry.
Mm-hmm.
And he's so warm and friendly and fun. And I've never been to Spain, but now I was like, oh, I want to go.
Yeah,
Yeah,
We talked about Guy Fieri on one of our episodes of What a Creep. He was our not a creep.
exactly.
Just FYI, in case you're all
And we
wondering.
and we've turned a lot of people on to him because they didn't. They were like, I thought for some reason I was supposed to hate him.
Yeah,
Now they're watching his show.
people love to make fun of him because he is like kind of a cartoon character with his bleached hair and like he'll put the sunglasses on like the back of his head and you know wears the like Ed Hardy shirts or whatever. He is a very comical looking person, but
Hmm.
you can tell like he has his heart's in the right place and he is really passionate about food and I really enjoy watching him. So I should watch the one where he goes to Spain too.
Oh God, I mean, it made me want to eat snails, which I never thought would happen. But I was like, oh yeah, I go. But butter and garlic and anything, and you fry it up, I'm pretty much on board. I
Yeah.
know that's not your thing.
If you could if you just lie to me and tell me it's something else,
It's ghee.
I would at least eat one and then I'd be like, "No, you tricked me. This is a snail." But that's okay. Is there anything else you're dorking out about?
I guess the last thing I saw on Netflix, because you and I talked about the Mamas and the Papas in our What a Creep podcast, and somehow Netflix knows what I'm doing, and it came up Echo in the Canyon, and Jacob
Oh.
Dylan um, put on a show. It's from 2 years ago, but all these artists that were in Laurel Canyon, California in the 60s, and we're allowed to talk about Crosby, Stills, and Nash, Mamas and the Papas, all these Peter Tork and the Monkees, like all these people had homes in Laurel Canyon, and they all became friends with each other, and they created all this amazing music together. And it's just this spot in time, like just for a few years. It was really great. And then the Manson murders happened, and people kind of took off.
Mm-hmm.
But Jacob Dylan interviews Michelle Phillips from the Mamas and the Papas. He has Beck on the show. Your boyfriend Beck.
Sigh.
Fiona Apple.
Oh, I love her.
Yeah, and they just do a bunch of songs from the Beach Boys and Crosby, Stills, and Nash, and it's a little white male centered. I mean, I
Yeah.
was kind of like, boy, this is like the whitest white people of Whiteville. I mean, it's yeah, but anyway, it's really good.
Okay.
Jacob Dylan could be a little more lively. He's very handsome,
Mm-hmm.
but he kind of has that one expression all the time. But he has cat power in the
Oh yeah.
show.
Okay.
I like her. Regina Spektor.
I like her too. Yeah.
She's amazing. They have some really great people, and they play some fun songs, and they just the Birds, just all this kind
Mm-hmm.
of music that I super love from that time. And so if you're interested, it's on Netflix right now. It's called Echo in the Canyon, and it goes down real easy.
All right. I'll put that on the list too.
Yep.
They don't sing Kokomo, do they?
No.
Okay.
No, they sing "In My Room," which is one of my favorite Beach
Okay,
Boys songs.
that one I can deal with, but if they sing Kokomo and you didn't warn me, I'm be pissed off. Where can people find you on the internet, Margo?
On social media, you can find me at Brooklyn Fitchick, and that's mostly for Twitter and Instagram. And my blog is brooklynfitchick.com.
And if you like the sound of our voices, and who wouldn't,
Right?
you can also listen to us at What a Creep, where we talk about creeps and we end every episode with someone who's not a creep. And that's at Creep Pod on Twitter because some other person had What a Creep and didn't use it for 10 years.
Creep.
That fucking creep. And there's a website coming. There's a Patreon page. There's a private Facebook group. And some of you dorking out listeners love to go into the What a Creep group and post stuff about dorking out. Like someone
Which
posted,
is fine.
Yes, which is totally fine. And someone posted the I'm right on top of that rose coffee mug.
Yes,
and I was like,
yes!
yes! I know what
I
I
need
want.
that one.
I know what I want for my birthday. You can find me at thesoniashow.com and The Sonia Show on Twitter and Instagram. And you can find Dorking Out at dorkingoutshow.com and Dorking Out Show on Twitter and sometimes Instagram. And if you give us a nice review, I'll give you a shout out on the podcast. That's what the kids do. And this was super fun. I'm so glad we talked about Clueless. This was long overdue.
Oh, absolutely. And we should also mention that we just got a nice batch of stickers
Oh yeah,
for Dorking Out. They're super cute.
Yeah.
And I need to send you some, don't I?
No, you sent me some, and they're awesome because they're all like iridescent.
Yes. Okay, you did get those. Okay.
Yes. And
They're really cool.
I love them. They're so awesome. I meant to say thank you for that. And I even wrote down that our email is dorkingoutshow@gmail.com. And I still didn't say it, and you had to remind me.
That's okay. There's a lot going on here.
There's a
a lot
lot.
going on.
There's a lot going on.
But
We're talking about Clueless and Love on the Spectrum, and there's stickers, and I can't keep track of everything.
you guys also, if you have suggestions, reach out to us. I guess Twitter's the best place.
Yeah, Twitter's great. You could send us an email, dorkingoutshow@gmail,
Mm-hmm.
and let us know if you have requests. We love requests. I think next week we're going to do Tron.
The early one, I think it's 84.
Yeah.
Was that the year it came out?
I think that's right. It's going to
I'm
be
psyched.
so fun. I'm really excited. I love old movie computers.
It's got Jeff Bridges at like his hottest.
This is true.
Yeah.
So I will definitely I'm gonna have a really good time with that one. I might watch some of the other ones too. We'll see. But it's a good one. So thanks for doing this with me, Margo.
Absolutely, my friend.
As if